Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Wednesday Checkup. Today we're going to be talking about a viral video that I saw on Twitter this weekend. It brought some strong emotions out of me and I wanted to discuss it with you. A mother and a grandmother go to a cardiologist's office in San Bernardino. The mother is translating for the grandmother, and the doctor says something along the lines of, "You should really know how to speak English," to the grandmother. Then the cell phone video starts recording, so here, take a look.
This is ridiculous. Let's go.
Fine, you can go.
Yes, we'll go.
I cannot believe.
I'll call whoever I need to call and let them know
It won't bother
that
me a
you
bit.
are so offensive. You need to.
No, I'm not offensive.
You don't
I'm
need
not
to get
offensive.
into if she's
I'm not
Mom,
offensive.
nothing.
I am
Okay, listen.
I am an American.
So what?
Born
I'm
here.
right here to translate for her. You don't need to do nothing but to tell me what's wrong with her. If she's okay, if she's not, then I'll translate to my mother. You don't need to tell me that she needs to learn English so you can communicate. Communicate through me, and I'll let her know.
It's
okay?
not the same.
It doesn't matter. Do you
Yes,
not
it does
understand?
matter. It's not the same.
Who do I
It's
speak
not
to?
the same.
Oh my gosh.
He is so stupid. I'm right here to translate for my mother, and he's telling her that to be in this country, she needs to learn English. What the fuck is that?
No, que es racista el doctor este. Voy a tener que hablar a la aseguranza para decirle.
Making my mother cry. Really?
Vámonos, yo voy a hablar a la aseguranza y les voy a decir.
That was hard to watch. And this really resonates with me because I was an immigrant, I didn't speak English when I first came to America, and I was mistreated at times for not knowing the language. On top of that, I care deeply for my patients in my hospital, and many of them are Hispanic and don't speak English as their first language. The last thing that they need is another barrier to getting quality healthcare. I watched the video a few times over and I couldn't really get a good idea of what happened prior to the video recording, but I dug a little deeper and found on Twitter, the granddaughter actually wrote what happened. Doctor walked in, grandma asked if he spoke Spanish. He said, "Why should I? You came here." My mom said she'll translate. This comment was ignored. Then he asked, "How long has she been here?" My mom says over 45 years. He then says, "And you don't speak English?" My mom responds, "She never had to go. No one ever had an issue with it. Plus, I go with my mom everywhere she needs to be. I translate." Then he says, "Roosevelt said, if you don't speak English, go home." So my mom responds, "Okay, you know what? What does that have to do with her health?" He says, "Nothing. She's been in this country. She should know English." So my mom starts getting heated, and that's when I start recording. The video does tell only one side of the story. I tried looking to see if the doctor or the hospital system made a statement, but I couldn't find anything online. I did speak to Angie, who actually recorded the video and posted it to Twitter. She gave us the rights to use this video. She even gave us some information that administration wasn't really helping her grandmother or her mother. And on top of that, the most unfortunate part of all this is that her grandmother did not get the medical care that she needed. Now let's talk about what ideally should happen in the case that someone comes to a medical office and speaks a foreign language. Let's use my office as an example. If a patient comes in, speaks a different language than myself, it's my responsibility to offer them an interpreter, whether that means an interpreter phone, an iPad video chat, or an in-person interpreter. If the patient prefers to have a family member translate, and this happens, that's their right, and I will go with that. That being said, it's not the most ideal to have a family member translate, because what I find often happens is that the family member has some sort of bias, not in a bad way, but just has some sort of bias about what's going on, about what the patient may understand or not understand. Sometimes words get mistranslated. They may not be fully trained to translate medical terms, but if my patients want that and they're comfortable and I have a good relationship with them, I'm totally fine and we can make that happen. This is not what happened here. This doctor came into a situation where the family member was active, interested in helping the situation, interested in helping the doctor, and somehow there was this level of, I hesitate to say narcissism, but it's really this "I'm greater than you" mentality. It goes against everything that we're trained to do. When we take the Hippocratic Oath, we're trained to help all people. Doesn't matter what country they're from, it doesn't matter their criminal status, what sex they are. Our job is to help people. I think this brings up a really good point for us to discuss why diversity is so important within the field of healthcare. When you come from a similar background as the patient, you actually have better outcomes. This has been talked about and proven in some studies in the past. When I've worked in, for example, Coney Island Hospital during my third year internal medicine rotations, I saw some of the specialists talk to the Russian-speaking patients, and I saw that there was a gap. There was a gap in that culture, and that gap in the culture broke down the doctor-patient relationship relationship to the point where even though the doctor was giving great advice, great treatment options, the patient wasn't quite getting it. So what I was able to do, because I spoke the language, because I have a Russian background, I was able to come in, fill that gap, allow the patients to understand where the doctor was coming from, weigh those options, and really fostered a healthy line of communication. So for me, I'm a huge supporter of increasing diversity within the field of healthcare. It's only going to serve to benefit our patients. I recently even made a donation from Limitless Tomorrow to STFM, which is the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine. They have a fund for underrepresented minorities in medicine. Ultimately, it's so unfortunate that the doctor had to go about this in such an insensitive manner. I think the patient would benefit from learning the English language, not only with dealing with the healthcare system or the voting system. It probably would benefit her. And perhaps he could have motivated her to do that or given her some options of ways to do that. But just to come in with a judgmental tone, say those things, not deliver any healthcare, you're not helping anybody. Now, I'm proud to say that I work at Overlook Medical Center, where we see a lot of Spanish-speaking patients and even other languages. We have an interpreter system online. We even have a charity care system that allows for patients to get low cost or even at sometimes free healthcare without any insurance, just because our hospital is a non-for-profit system that allows for this to happen. I'm proud to work there and I'm proud to take care of an immigrant population. I know what it's like. It's not easy, it's a difficult road coming to a new country, and anything that doctors can do to help, they really should. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this isn't the typical video that we do for Wednesday Checkup, but it brought up some emotions in me, and I wanted to share it with you. Special thanks to Angie and her grandmother for going through this regrettable experience and still allowing us to not only learn from it, but also to emphasize the need of diversity within healthcare. As always, stay happy and healthy.